What's up, y'all? My Conscience 616 here. The other day, I was talking with my partner about rising veterinary costs and stuff, and she was telling me about a video she watched that talked about the fact that they've gone up a crazy amount over just the last few years, and it being due to private equity firms. And so I started looking into it more, and it goes so much further than just that, and it's so much worse. So hope you like and enjoy this video. Look into it yourselves because this is wild and it has to stop. So without further ado, here we go. In America today, your pet's life may not rely on love, but on leverage. In recent years, veterinary costs have spiked dramatically, with prices about 42% higher than in 2019 for pet services like vet care and grooming. This far outpaces general inflation. Americans spent an estimated $38 billion on pet health services in 2023, up from about $29 billion in 2019. Even as overall inflation eased, vet care kept getting pricier. In March of 2024, vet services were up 9.6% year over year, nearly triple the overall inflation rate. Pet owners are feeling the squeeze. In a recent survey, 91% reported financial stress due to vet costs, and experts warn a sizable share of families may soon be unable to afford needed pet care. So you may be asking yourself, what's driving these surging bills? A major factor is the rapid consolidation of veterinary clinics by large corporations and private equity firms, sometimes called the rise of Big Vet. Industry insiders estimate that 25 to 30% of U.S. vet practices are now owned by big corporations, up from only 8% a decade ago. For specialty animal hospitals, that number skyrockets to 75% who are corporately owned. Billion-dollar investors have poured money into buying up local vets. Private equity funds invested over $51 billion in the vet sector from 2017 to 2023. Well-known chains like Banfield, BCA, and Blue Pearl are now owned by Mars Inc., the candy company, which operates over 2,000 clinics, while firms like JAB Holding, owner of National Vet Associates, bought up 1,000 plus clinics, and Shore Capital, owner of Mission and Southern Vet Partners, have acquired hundreds more. In short, many pet owners who think they're visiting an independent local vet are now actually visiting a clinic run by a multinational conglomerate focused on maximizing profit and couldn't care less about whether your pet receives the care it needs and deserves. As private equity ownership spreads, prices have climbed and quality concerns have emerged. For example, one New York City vet clinic charged $27 for a cat's rabies shot in 2018 when it was independent. But after being bought by a private equity-backed firm in 2022, the same shot cost $50 in 2024. A routine urinalysis that was $42 in 2021 jumped to $86 in 2024 at that same clinic. Across the country, vets employed by corporate chains describe pressure to boost revenues. Management pushes them to do more and see more patients, and to upsell owners on costly tests, wellness plans, or specialty foods. Some veterinarians report feeling ashamed at the sky-high estimates they must quote clients under these new profit targets. In one chain, doctors were even sent to training seminars on getting the client to say yes to expensive procedures. This pressure can lead to unnecessary testing or prolonged treatments purely for profit. An investigative piece described a pet owner whose critically ill puppy, who had parvo, was kept in intensive care for days with costs of $11,000 and little hope of recovery. The owner suspected the corporate-run hospital would keep treating the puppy so long as they were willing to pay. Hey, what's up, y'all? My Conscience 616 here. I wanted to pause right here real quick and share a story. This is our pup, Bella. As you can see, she's getting to be an old pup. When I first got her, I realized quickly that something wasn't right. I took her to a local small clinic where it was discovered she had parvo. She was about 8 weeks old at that point.
Around that time, I hit financial strains. The vet clinic let me take her home and gave me the supplies and meds that she would need, IV bags and some other meds. It cost less than $100 for everything. I put the IVs in her, I gave the meds, I got up every couple hours to make sure she was getting her Gatorade and went outside to go to the bathroom. It was stressful, yes, but it definitely wasn't $11,000 worth of work and supplies. No way it should cost something like this. That was roughly 7 years ago. Insane how much it's gone up.
Okay, that's enough of one of the cutest pups in the world. I hope you all enjoyed her. She is one of the best pups ever. All right, let's get back to the story. That same puppy from above was still sick when they took it home, and later they had to bring the puppy back for another round of treatments that cost another $4,000 and still wouldn't work. Another pet owner at a chain emergency clinic was initially quoted $1,800 in tests for a dying dog until he pressed the vet, who admitted a single blood test would suffice. And unfortunately, it confirmed the worst. These stories fuel worries that pet health is becoming a profit center just like human health. As one industry observer noted, corporate groups achieve efficiencies and economies of scale, but none of the cost savings are passed on to consumers, and price increases have been very high in vet medicine over the past decade. And of course, quality of care suffers in this as well. Reports have documented short staffing and burnout at corporate clinics. Some companies tie vets' pay to revenue, creating perverse incentives. Imagine veterinarians using used car salesman tricks. That isn't putting the patient or the family and their care first. It's telling that corporate vet practices receive lower customer satisfaction in some surveys compared to independent vets. Regulators are taking notice. The Federal Trade Commission has stepped in to force JAB Holding to divest clinics in certain areas to prevent local monopolies. And U.S. senators have voiced alarm that pets' lives are at risk when financial firms profiteer off of vets' care. The bottom line for pet owners is stark. Vet bills are rising much faster than inflation, putting many families in a painful bind between financial strain and their pets' health. And as far as with the Senate and our leaders looking into all this and stuff, they're looking into it, but it's more like a little slap on the wrist when anything is done at all. A little tap and one of those, no, don't you do that. So essentially, even though they're looking into it, they're not doing shit. At least nothing effective that's going to help pet owners and their pets in any significant way. But look, this isn't just happening in the vet sector of our country. It's happening everywhere in our country. Follow me so you don't miss our next video, where we will begin to dive deeper into the corruption and how those who already have more money than most of us could even fathom drill deeper into our bank accounts so they can make sure that they get every available loose penny that they can take. While we grind, fight, and stress ourselves into early graves, pointing fingers at our neighbors and screaming that they're to blame, those like our current administration and the thugs and gangsters that put them there laugh at our tears, scoff at our cries and demands for help, and scrunch their faces in disgust at the blood we've left on the last pennies we tried to hold on to in hopes that tomorrow our families may eat.